All right, so I had some really good questions and comments from someone regarding how to know demonic manifestations, the difference between those and the manifestations of the Holy Spirit. So we're going to talk about that. Yes, there is a religious community in the church that will tell you that the Holy Spirit does not cause manifestations, that he is only peaceful and quiet and his presence comes on you in a soft sort of way. While that is true, the Holy Spirit can do whatever he wants to. He's God. See, we're not God. We don't tell the Holy Spirit what he can and can't do. The religious spirit tries to tell the Holy Spirit what he can and can't do. People that have not been transformed into new wineskins to hold the new wine of the Holy Spirit, that people that are old wineskins will limit the Holy Spirit. They're not prepared for the new wine. So they will not accept the new wine. They reject the new wine of the Holy Spirit. So the religious spirit tries to control the Holy Spirit and the manifestations of the Spirit. That is the reason why so much of the Church of America is dead, religiously speaking. The Holy Spirit is not welcome because in order for him to be welcome, we have to have the attitude of, we trust you, Holy Spirit. We want you, and you can come and do whatever you want to with us, no matter what it is. You have free reign. It's your church. You're in charge. You're God. You're part of the Godhead. You can do whatever you want. See, that must be the attitude that we have if we want to experience the full manifestation of the Holy Spirit. And quite frankly, we need him to come among us and revive our dry, dead bones, specifically in the Church of America. I'm sure other parts of the world as well are crying out for a move of the Spirit. So we're going to get into the differences between demonic manifestations and Holy Spirit manifestations. Demonic manifestations, specifically, if someone is in the presence of God and they're feeling movement, say in their stomach, kind of like their stomach moving, or that's a good indication that demons are being stirred in their stomach by the presence of God. Biblically speaking, that's what I've seen from experience. Biblically speaking, you can see where Jesus' presence is when he's coming to minister and demons start manifesting and throwing someone down. And there's a very specific way a person behaves when a demon is making them manifest, right? They're in turmoil, they're just not right. This is something that's very easily discerned, the difference between that and the Holy Spirit. It's something that I think even younger believers in Jesus Christ can pick up quite easily after you've seen it a few times. It just comes with spiritual discernment, which comes with time and maturity, okay? It's just part of the process. It's about Hebrews 5:14, those who have their senses exercised to discern good from evil, okay? That's just a part of the process, a part of maturing. Okay, so we need to be able to recognize that. I have had people, when the Holy Spirit was coming upon me, they have thought that it was demonic before because the fire of the Spirit. Let me tell you something. The Holy Spirit, oftentimes, yes, I'm sitting in his presence. I feel his peace. I feel his presence. It feels like heaven's inside of me, right? That's what it feels like. It's just comforting. I just want to sit there and meditate on the Lord, meditate on the scriptures, just be with him. And that's good. And sometimes the Holy Spirit has come upon me with absolute fire and absolute power. And it comes down to trust. Do you trust him? That's really what it's about. See, Enoch trusted the Lord. Enoch didn't have the Bible. He didn't have scriptures. He had to walk with the Lord. Some people treat the Lord like he's a book. He is not a book. He's a person. We relate to him, okay? The scriptures are intended to lead us to him. The scriptures are not him. He is a person and we need to interact with him. Enoch learned how to interact with him. He had a relationship with God. He walked in his presence. He heard from him. He responded to him. They had such an intimate relationship that God just took him, caught him up to heaven because the Lord didn't want to be without Enoch anymore. And that, as far as Enoch being on the earth and the Lord in heaven, he wanted him to be before his very presence all the time because their relationship was so close. So when you start looking at the Lord as a person and you start trusting him, like I mentioned in Luke chapter 11 in the last video, or one of the last videos, that if we ask the Father for the Holy Spirit, he's not going to give us a serpent. He's not going to give us a demon. He's not going to give us a demonic manifestation when we're seeking the Father for the Holy Spirit. No, he's going to give us the Holy Spirit. It really comes down to trust. Do we trust him? Because guess what? The Holy Spirit will do things to see if we trust him, to see if we will let him move, to see if, to test our hearts on this issue. It really comes down to trust. So when you approach the Holy Spirit in faith and you approach him in trust and believing and just wanting to encounter him, wanting to know him, wanting to receive from him, then yes, he will release his fire and his power. And I'm telling you what, it's different with each person, right? So you have your own relationship with the Holy Spirit, a different relationship than I have per se. With me, I've experienced numerous fire encounters and encounters that I would consider violent encounters, power encounters. That in the Holy Spirit may manifest differently to different people. Each of us have a different relationship with him, and that's okay because we're all different, and he relates to us differently. There's nothing wrong with that. Just to share a few of my encounters, I have danced in the Spirit before, and I'm not talking about just dancing to music. I'm talking about where I started off dancing to worship music, and I, by my own will, not him taking over control of me, by my own will, I yielded to the Spirit. Okay, that takes trust in him, that takes faith, that takes laying down fear of man, humbling yourself before the living God, those sorts of things. I yielded to him, and the Holy Spirit took control of me and I danced. He was controlling my dance motions or movements in the Spirit. The same has happened with praying in tongues. I've completely yielded to the Holy Spirit where he's praying through me. It's uncontrollable because I yielded to him. I yielded my control to him, and he's praying through me and speaking mysteries, okay? So that's happened. I've had encounters in the secret place where I'm waiting upon the Lord, and I've had just fire come up on my body where all I can see, my eyes are closed, but I'm seeing like this white light because his fire's coming on me, his burning's coming on me. I've had him come on me in the secret place where he's shaking my body because power's coming through my body. I've had encounters where he hit me so hard that I blacked out for a split second, a second, 2 seconds. I felt just a full numbness and fire through my body where I'm completely limp and blacked out, and then kind of come back and can hardly move. I'm slow to it because of the sheer raw power that's coming upon me. You say, well, why does the Lord do that? Listen, every single encounter has made me more passionate about him, made me want him more, made me desire him more, made me want to wait upon him more. Sometimes he does things like that to impart revelation, to impart understanding. There's things that happen in the Spirit that we can't always put into words or we don't always understand, but that doesn't mean it's not good. It's always good when it's the Holy Spirit. You trust him. You trust what he's doing. That's part of the relationship. I've had encounters like in a meeting where I received the laying on of hands and impartation. And this has happened numerous times, actually, where and I was in such faith that I'm going to receive from the Lord. I believe, I trust, I'm going to receive from him. And the person laid hands on me, and it was like a lightning bolt hit me, and my whole body began vibrating violently under the power as I fell backwards, and someone caught me and laid me on the floor. That's happened probably, I want to say, at least 5 times in a public meeting from different people, different ministers that I've received impartation from. Because I was hungry, I had expectation, I wanted the Lord. And the Lord meets you in that hunger and that expectation. When I first got baptized in the Holy Spirit, I probably had to seek his face for I think it was about 5 months. I sought him for about 5 months before I received it. From the moment I learned about it and started praying to the moment I received it, it was about 5 months. Sometimes you have to press in, and the Lord's going to test you and see, do they really want me? Are they going to press in? Are they going to trust me? Are they going to have expectation? Are they going to have faith? Are they going to tarry until they're endued with power from on high?